My name is Matt Genovese.
And I'm Barbara Salisbury.
We're from Job Cannon.
And today we wanted to visit with you guys and let you know that we have been getting a lot of feedback from career coaches and job seekers. And that has been around how do you reach out to your network, because folks are just feeling really...
It's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one, and they're feeling just really kind of embarrassed and uncomfortable about how to ask for help. And, you know, I think we can all relate to that to a certain extent, and
it's the most effective thing out there, but yeah.
It is, but one of the most difficult to have to try to walk out. And so, you know, a career coach actually that we were visiting with earlier this morning was saying, you know, she had a client that took like 3 days to try to draft, you know, an outgoing message. And so we thought we would take a few minutes and share with you guys a strategy that we kind of have built here at Job Cannon that seems to have worked for folks. And we just wanted to share that to help all of you out there that are kind of having that challenge about really just being able to put something in place and going with it and getting past that uncomfortable piece. So
how do you get your network to basically help you out during the job search?
To engage them in what you're doing, because we know people want to help. So
they do.
How do we do that, Matt? How do we go about engaging those folks that really we know would want to help them? And
that's the thing to remember, is that your network does want to help. Your network, you know, and if you think of it, you yourself, if you were asked by one of your friends or your colleagues, you know, would you be willing to help me out?
Right.
You know, I'm sure that you'd be coming back and saying, I'd be glad to help. However I can help out, let me know.
Absolutely.
But when it's our turn, we feel a little intimidated by it. We're like, I don't know. So we do have to get past that, because in the end, networking is going to find you your job 7 out of 10 times.
Right.
So to do that, you need to, you know, actually engage your network, and you know, this kind of goes to show you need to engage your network and ask them for help, and so they can send you leads back and give them the right information that they need to send you information back, to send you job leads back.
Good point. Okay. So empowering them with that information, of how to actually go do something with that.
Exactly. So what we advocate here in Job Cannon is to reach out first to what we call your inner circle. And your inner circle are the people that you would probably consider as good friends, good personal references, good professional references, people that you're close to.
Okay.
And when you do that, you're asking them for, we actually have templates built into Job Cannon to help you do this, but you know, even so, you're asking, would you be willing to help me during my job search?
Okay.
All right. And it's a very different question than asking what people might normally consider asking, which is, do you know of any jobs available? All right.
Okay.
When you ask, do you know of any jobs, that's a difficult question to answer, and it also starts putting a wall up, like, oh, this is going to be hard. I don't know of any jobs. I don't want to come back and say I can't help you. All right.
So that makes that uncomfortable piece that you're trying to bridge past.
Exactly.
Okay.
But if you go and say, would you be willing to help me during my job search? Now they're more apt to say, well, yeah, I'd be willing to help you, because you're basically asking for support in the future. All right. Would you be willing to help me is a futuristic question.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Down the road, if I ask for help, would you be willing to? Chances are they'll say yes. In fact, people that use Job Cannon, we find that they get over 90% of their contacts coming back and saying, yep, definitely willing to help you out.
Wow.
Okay, and that's a fantastic thing. So when you're asking for help, now you can, now they can start sending you some, basically an affirmation like, yeah, I will. And many times they'll also send you leads back. From that they happen to know of. Now the ironic thing here is that your close network probably, because you're in the same circle and you're very tight, they probably already know of the same leads that you do, if there any exist.
That would make sense.
So that's the irony, is that they may not be able to, although they could, they may not be able to send you direct leads into your, into certain jobs.
Okay.
But what they could send back is guidance for you on how you're asking. Okay.
So how they received the message that you sent to them.
Exactly.
How they felt
How
about
it came
that.
across, it also opens up the conversation too. Maybe you haven't talked, you haven't talked to them a little while. You want to go
Okay.
out to lunch, and catch up.
Oh.
So it starts getting you engaged with their network again, which is a good thing. But again, they're probably going to be sending back guidance and support, and that's something that, from an emotional standpoint, you probably need.
Right. I
you
started
know.
to say that would feel good as well.
Right, and it does, and it starts getting the pump primed.
Yeah.
So that now
Yeah.
you can start moving
Yeah.
forward. So that's how we approach the inner circle portion.
Okay. Because actually, when you said that, would you like to help? That actually kind of felt good. Like I wanted to say, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
what did you need?
Yeah, go-
Or hey, you want to visit? Or
Yeah, yeah.
because you've kind of left it open in that sense. So
That's right.
And then, I know that what we've heard and seen validated is it's really not that person that you know really well where people are finding the leads. It's usually who that person can introduce you to. So
Yes.
how do you then reach out to those folks
Well,
once you've
what
done
you're
that?
doing then is after you reach out to your inner circle, then we advocate you go out to your wider network, to the people that maybe more casually, but you wouldn't consider them part of your inner circle of really tight friends
Okay.
or personal
Okay.
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 or things like that. When you go out to your larger network, now you're reaching a wider. You can imagine it as like casting a wider net. Okay.
Okay.
And those people now can receive your message about, would you be willing to help me during my job search? And again, oftentimes they will be supportive and they'll opt in to help you out.
Okay.
And that's really good.
Okay.
But also now they can start sending you leads back from what they find if
Okay.
they happen to know of any leads
Okay.
at that moment. But you'll also start reconnecting and making tighter friendships with these
Right,
people
that's what
too.
I was just thinking, and it feels very comfortable when you're just asking me, can you help?
Yeah, exactly.
I might think of something you might not even know of.
Exactly.
In that sense, like, wow, maybe I can help you by doing this or doing that.
Right.
Or, yeah.
Right. And what I call that is this process of asking for help is really what I call activating your network. All right, and kind of warming them all up, and
Okay.
saying, look,
Okay.
this is where I am, and would you be willing to support me? And now they're kind of attuned to your specific situation, and can now actively start participating in your job search.
Right.
And they don't feel pressured because they opted in to help.
Right.
And it works out very well. This strategy tends to work out very well.
I like that, like giving them the opportunity to say whether they want to be involved in that or not, or if they have the
Exactly.
bandwidth or time, or want to receive more emails, that they're able to say, sure, would love to do that, or you know what, this is not a good time for me to be able to do that. I'm going to be traveling or out of the state or whatever. So
It gives them the freedom. They don't feel pressured either way. They can always opt in if they opted out. They can always opt out if they'd opted in. So there's never any pressure.
okay,
But what it does give is a means for them to really participate, and that's
Yeah.
what you want, because you want your network to feel like they can participate in helping you, and quite honestly, it makes them feel good when they can send a lead. Imagine if you as a job seeker could go and send a lead back to a friend of yours who's looking for work. That gives you a good feeling, right?
does.
And
It
so,
does.
you're giving them an opportunity to feel good about themselves and to be able to help you.
Right.
And in turn, it really does make them feel better as well. So it's really a win-win, and you just have to open up that channel.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to help you do with the what we're advocating with this email type of approach.
yeah, I like that. Activate your network.
That's right.
I like that. You're activating them. They know you're needing help, and they're kind of waiting now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes, I'd like to help you. So then, the obvious thing would be that they're looking for the next communication.
Yes. So the next communication would be, and what we find is that if you wait for about, after you reach out to your entire network, maybe you wait for 1 or 2 weeks
Okay.
afterwards.
Okay.
The reason that is that most of those people will start replying to you, almost immediately. And they will also start sending leads back, and they'll start sending invitations back for getting together, maybe for lunch.
Oh,
All right. So
okay.
you'll start finding that the wheels start churning.
Okay.
Okay. And that's a good thing, but you
Right.
want to make sure that everybody's gotten your email and had a chance to read it. And so if you wait about a week or 2 weeks, then you're at a point where everybody who's gotten the email and has opted in, is going to opt in. Now you can reach out to the people who have opted in, or maybe the people who didn't respond yet.
Okay.
Okay. And you want to leave the people who've opted out. You want to leave them alone.
Okay.
And that's fine. It's their prerogative.
Right.
But you reach out to either all the people who've opted in, or all the people who opted in, and the folks who haven't opted in
Okay,
yet.
that makes sense.
And now you'd be a little more specific about what are you looking for. And what we do is we say, start by thanking them for participating. Look, I really appreciate it.
All right,
Make it
okay.
heartfelt. Again, we have email templates written that help get you started, but you're supposed to own it.